Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Bob, the founding artistic director of NewGallery Concert Series, and it is thrilling to see you here. I'm going to do my best not to talk too much, but just to briefly say that what you're going to experience tonight are many different aspects of what divine isolation might mean. And you're getting this kaleidoscope of visions from people from so many different places. We've got South Africa, we have Israel, we have the Navajo Nation, we have Oregon. I mean, we've got it all here. And of course, Greater Boston as well. And there's no intermission tonight. That said, we really, really want you to come up and take a look at the artwork. So please do, when the event ends, come up, get close. A lot of the work is for sale. And we want you to engage, not just with us, the musicians, but also with Neetu, who I'm going to introduce you to in a second. I look forward to meeting those of you I don't know and talking to those of you I do. And I am so incredibly grateful for all the people who have put this together, the participants. My mom is here and being a part of tonight, which is really special. And I am really excited to hear what you all think. So first, before we get started, I would like to introduce you to our featured visual artist, Neetu Singhal.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. So I'm happy to present my work over here, and thank you for Sarah and team over here who gave me the opportunity to present my work. And if you have any question about my artwork, the theme, and you're curious to know more about anything, please do let me know. I'm happy to give the answer and be a part of your joy. Thank you.
Which reminds me, you should all have a single sheet with the program order. There's also a QR code with the full program notes about the art, about the pieces, about the players, about the series. And whether you look at it tonight or tomorrow or every day the next year, I'd be thrilled, and we hope to see you again. Thank you.
Yate she Michael Begay and she Kia ani nishla Tachini Bashichin Toricini Dashache Taban Dashanella Akut Ego Denishla. Hi, my name is Michael Begay. I am a Dine composer from Tuba City, Arizona, which is on the western edge of the Navajo Nation. I am currently studying in Baltimore at the Peabody Institute. I'm here to introduce the piece Daan, which is Dine for spring. In this piece, it was one of my first ventures into experimental music, and especially graphic notation. This is the second installment of I guess a sort of series that I was starting in 2018 with the string quartet, Hey, which is winter, and Daan means spring in Dine. So it's sort of like a representation of the transformation from winter to spring. And in Dine culture, when you first hear thunder after the winter, you're supposed to stretch, and it's almost like a renewal of the whole cycles again. So when you hear thunder, which is represented by the cellos in this piece, and also you can listen out for the returning of the birds. In my earlier piece, Hey, the winter piece, the birds are leaving for migration. So in this one, they're coming back. So that's one thing to listen for. And all of the cellos, each part is on a single page, followed by a series of cells. And each cello has a set of rules for each cell. So that's one thing to listen for. repetition and change, subtle changes between each repetition. Some of the interesting facts about the piece. I really hope you enjoy the piece. And thanks again for the New Gallery concert series for featuring this piece. Thank you.
Thank you. Togozani, Kamagwini. It is me, Monthati Masebe, and I wrote the piece Kuya Shota, and I'm so grateful to it being performed and getting its first US premiere. I wrote this song right in the thick of the COVID, say 2020, late 2020, and I was wrestling with a lot of things as well as a recent mental health diagnosis and trying to reconcile the contrasting worlds between mental illness as seen as a gift in more Afrocentric, Afro-spiritual realms and seen as a burden in Western realms. Kuya Shota means something is missing. And I wanted to juxtapose this tension between the bass and the piano constantly interlocked and playing the same rhythm, but chafing up against each other at the same time. I thought that these rhythmic polarities really exemplified the experience that I was encountering in my mind with my creativity and really facing all the ganky excavated emotions that I think we all experienced during the pandemic. And so yeah, the piece weaves you through a never-ending spiral of stories all crashing into one. It opens with a riff that you can kind of groove to and eventually sprinkles out into something else, returns to the riff, sprinkles out into something else. And with every returning, I hope it unlocks a new perspective of the same thing. So you think of a concept and what it means to truly know what it's about and be met with a re-invitation to that concept once more and ask yourself, whoa, something is missing, but also, whoa, I can never fully know what's happening. Never really fully know what's happening with the people around you, with the sounds we listen to, with the minds behind the sounds that you listen to. And really, it's just an ode to the never-ending roller coaster of creativity. And I really hope you enjoy listening to the piece. Thanks so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron Trant. I'm the composer of this next piece. I did want to say, Sarah had mentioned, lots of music from all over the world. I am one of the Oregon representatives, and oddly enough, I'm one of two Oregon folk on this concert, which is pretty rare, I think, on the East Coast. Kenji Bunch is also from Oregon, and by chance, in a sort of a divine isolation way, I don't know Kenji very well, but we did go to the same high school. So, and he's a year older than me, I believe. So he was a year ahead of me. The piece Hymn that's about to be performed is just a very simple melody and slight variations on that melody with the orchestration of cello and toy piano makes for kind of a nice, interesting sound. And I'd like to thank Rhonda and Sarah again for performing this piece. They do a very wonderful job with it, so looking forward to hearing them play. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm just going to introduce the next piece briefly, which is by Kenji Bunch, the other Oregon native and evidently classmate of Aaron's. The piece is for solo scordatura violin. And scordatura means that the strings on my instrument are tuned to different pitches than what is ordinary. And in this particular piece, all 4 strings of the violin are tuned elsewhere. And I'm a very more is more kind of person when it comes to scordatura. I love playing pieces that are in alternate tunings. So when I first heard about this piece, I was like, I will do anything to play it. And then I did what any reasonable new music aficionado would do. And I immediately asked another composer to write a new piece for this same tuning. Because I was like, what if I had a whole program that was in this tuning? I wouldn't have to switch violins like I'm gonna do tonight. It would be so cool. And so I wrote to Kenji Bunch, basically like a fangirl email. And I was like, I'm this violinist, I love this piece you wrote, I've already commissioned another piece for this tuning. What if it was a whole album? And he wrote back to me and he said, it's really funny that that's what you thought of, because the reason he wrote the piece was that he heard his friend play an entire solo violin recital. And when the recital ended, Kenji thought to himself, it's so boring that the entire program is in the same tuning. It would be so nice if one piece was in an alternate tuning. So basically Kenji, in a very warm, loving way, was like, please don't do that. So we have a new idea for the vision of what I can do with this piece, which will come a little bit later in my life. But I love performing it and feel very deeply connected to it. The title of the piece is Until Next Time, which is just a sort of homage from Kenji to his friend Neil, for whom the piece was written. So it's a celebration of friendship, which I think is so beautiful. And the first time I was supposed to play this piece was in March 2020. Things got a little derailed. And so the title of it started to mean something a little different to me, just waiting during the pandemic in my own isolation, wondering if I would ever have the chance to play music for other people again. And the first time I got to play it was in 2021 by myself in a concert hall, which was streamed live. And since then, life has come back, which is so great, and I've gotten to live with this piece and perform it many times. But I just want to say that every time I get to do any music for humans, I am so grateful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to hear live music. This is Kenji Bunch's Until Next Time.
How can I explain where I am? My eyes are not reflected in any window. My face is not mirrored in any glass. All the many streetcars in the city pass by without me. And the rain falls and does not wet my hand. And I am here, wholly here, in a foreign city, in the heart of a vast homeland of strangers. My face is not mirrored in any glass. And the rain falls and does not wet my hand. My room is so small that the days inside it grow cautious and shrink. And I too live cautiously with a scent of smoke and apples. At night, the neighbors will light a lamp. Beyond a wide courtyard, through the branches of a tall birch, a window glows quietly across from me. At night, sometimes it's hard to recall that once, somewhere, there was my own window. night, the neighbors will light a lamp. It has been weeks that no one calls me by my name. And this is quite simple. The parrots in my kitchen have not learned it yet. The people throughout the city do not know it. It exists only on paper, in writing. And it has no voice, no sound, no tone. For days I walk without a name, on a street whose name I know. For hours I sit without a name, facing a tree whose name I know. And sometimes I think, without a name, about someone whose name I do not know. It has been weeks that no one calls me by my name. For days I walk without a name. For hours, I sit without a name. I walked with the ships and stood with the bridges, and I lay in the street with the falling leaves of the raywood tree. I had autumn, and I had a luminous cloud beside a black chimney. And I had a strange name that no one could guess.